So before we get started, we'd love to share our rap song introduction video, and we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, okay, organic base, this is what you need. Take you to the future, live a life that can be disease free. All these toxins are taxing on our bodies, no doubt. All these GMOs and these processed foods we can live without. Yeah, wanna see you live a long time. Contaminants in our water and our food supply. From the meat to the dairy and the fish, what a shame. Not realizing that my insides were inflamed. Hold up, I know it's hard to digest, that's right. I found an organic plant-based website. I even got the app, yo, this is where it's at. Promoting a healthy life, it's time to put it on the map. Assuaged, trust you don't wanna miss. It's time for you to be your best, be your healthiest. Assuaged, trust you don't wanna miss. It's time for you to be your best, be your healthiest. Hey, Assuaged, let's go.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining our team of students today. We will be covering LGBTQIA, celebrating diversity and supporting equality. Today we have our student speakers, myself, Cynthia Murphy, Jayashree Salian, Madison Clark, Stephanie Brown. We'd like to thank our slide contributors as well as our student speakers, Aysha Rahman, Colleen Garcia, Jayashree Salian, Haymar, Katherine Aybar, Lydia Fox, and Tolulope Adebile. We also would like to thank our Restream sponsor, our partner, for supporting our student team. Restream is a powerful multi-platform streaming platform that allows brands, nonprofits to broaden their reach, connecting us with diverse communities across various social media platforms. So, with that said, our message of public health and wellness now reaches those who need it the most. Thank you so much, Restream. We are so grateful. Today, we have an agenda. The first section will cover LGBTQIA, knowing the letters, an overview of LGBTQIA, the history. Second section will cover the treatment and challenges, HRT, the risk of HRT, and the mental health aspects associated with that. The third section will support LGBTQIA, an ally to the community, and we'll be covering the rights and protection. The fourth section will be the resources, where we will provide health services and hotlines for our viewers.
All right. So the LGBTQIA plus is an acronym to conceptualize gender and sexual identities, also referred as the rainbow community. Gender and sexual identities are often misunderstood, unknown, and marginalized. It is meant to be inclusive to other identities. The plus at refers to the expanding and new understanding of gender and sexual identities. Pansexual, omnisexual, gray sexual, demisexual, polysexual, questioning, two spirited, non binary, or NB or MBI, neurogender fluid. The meaning of LGBTQIA plus is lesbian, a woman who is physically or romantically attracted to other women exclusively. Gay, an adjective to describe one who is attracted physically or romantically to those of the same sex. Transgender, a transgender person claims a different gender identity than the one assigned at birth. This covers more than a male identifying as a female and vice versa. It pushes past the idea that there are only two genders. Bisexual, a person who feels physical or romantic attraction toward those more than one gender. Bisexual people need not to have had a specific sexual experience to identify as bisexual. Queer, this term describes people who do not exclusively identify as homosexual or straight. It can include those who are non binary, gender fluid, and gender non conforming, also refers to questioning about gender. Intersex, this is a term to describe someone whose gender was assigned at birth by a medical provider because the genitalia and or reproductive organs could not be classified as fully female or male. Asexual, a person who feels no physical attraction to others at all, also refers to allies. Plus, plus leaves room for the other sexual identities and orientation not covered in the acronym: demisexual, bigender, gender neutral, aromantic, gray sexual, etc. Treatment for gender identity, HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy, HRT, is the process of medically adjusting the hormones in your body. Both trans and cis people take HRT for lots of different reasons. For trans people, HRT can be used to help make the features of the body more feminine or masculine. Risk of HRT: blood clots in deep veins or in lungs, heart problems, high levels of triglycerides, triglycerides, a type of fat in the blood, high levels of potassium in the blood, high levels of the hormone prolactin in the blood, nipple discharge, weight gain, infertility, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and stroke. And LGBTQIA plus eras in US history. From the 1700s to the 1800s, scientific and political revolutions set the stage for brave visibility. Also in these years was the trial and imprisonment of Oscar Wilde, plus the trial of the novel The Well of Loneliness, a lesbian novel that also tested gender binaries. In 1969 to 2000, the 1969 marketed the Stonewall riots, which discharged LGBTQI plus rights out of the dark ages into a strong civil rights movement. The first same-sex marriage was in Massachusetts in 2004. Also in this era, trans visibility increased and a lot of gender identity terminology formed. From 2015 to present, trans identity gained a lot of visibility when former Olympian Caitlyn Jenner came out, plus marriage was nationally legalized. In 1778, a lieutenant in the US Army was literally drummed out for being gay, only 2 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed. 1870s to 1920s, feminist movements aided drive for recognizing LGBTQIA+. In 1992, the Lesbian Avengers were formed. They performed group actions of radical visibility called ZAPs, in addition to other acts of coolness. 2000 to 2015, legal victory. Same-sex marriages were legalized across the country, starting with Vermont in 2000.
Multiple marginalization increases challenges. People can be LGBTQIA+ and experience marginalization in every category. These are some of the categories that experience maximum challenges. That is race, gender, class, migration status, disability. And then there is intersectional challenges, which could also contribute to stress affecting social and health outcomes. Some more categories of challenges faced by the rainbow community: social exclusion, which could include trauma, victimization, parental abuse, hate crimes, homophobia; employment and housing discrimination, which could include which could be because of lack of LGBTQ friendly places or high rental rates; healthcare access and insurance; inaccessibility to fertility or hormone treatment; gender affirming clinics; violence, like bullying, legal injustice, or verbal abuse; mental health, like depression, addictions, or even suicide. Mental health challenges faced by LGBTQIA plus community. Mental health status, which contributes to more than 50% of the LGBTQIA plus community, has moderate to severe mental health conditions, which decreases with age. A majority of cases exist in 11 to 17-year-olds. Suicide or self-harm. 49.76%, which is again equivalent to 50%, have thoughts of suicide or self-harm. 30% with 30% nearly every day and 20% more than half the days. Anxiety and depression. More than 18% of the LGBTQIA plus community has symptoms of anxiety and depression. More than half are aged 18 to 44 years. This is a quote from the Trevor Project, which says 82% of LGBTQIA plus people want mental health care, but less than half receive care. Most are limited by fear of discussing mental health issues or not being taken seriously, lack of trust in the system or affordability, and concerns with obtaining caregiver consent. Mental health support for LGBTQI individuals. Increase awareness. Publicly and actively address anti-LGBTQI plus languages and actions. Also support organizations and policies benefiting the community. Gaining mental illness related knowledge. Learning about the early signs of mental illnesses. Respect their identity, affirming how they choose to live. Mental health resources. Provide information and resources from the Trevor Project, It Gets Better Project, the National Center for Transgender Equality and Trans Life, and others. Listen and be compassionate. Be compassionate for their struggles and offer to help and listen. An ally to LGBTQIA plus community. According to the Human Rights Campaign Foundation 2022, listen and learn. To be an ally, actively learn from and listen to the diverse experiences of people of color and help them feel safe expressing their own identities. Practice empathy. Practicing empathy of the LGBTQI community means acknowledging, understanding, and respecting their experiences, challenges, and perspectives with compassion. Be accepting. Being a good ally starts with acceptance as its foundation. This involves demonstrating behaviors that validate and accept the gender identities of LGBTQ individuals. Take action. Taking action is crucial for being a good ally to LGBTQ individuals and improving their well being, such as by standing or speaking up to anti LGBTQ comments or jokes.
So, know your rights, the LGBTQIA plus rights. These are according to the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU. So, the repeal of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell was passed by the US Congress, allowing gay and lesbian individuals to openly serve in the military. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits unemployment discrimination based on sex, also applies to the LGBTQIA plus community. The same-sex marriage was legalized nationwide in the United States in 2015, and many states have laws protecting LGBTQIA plus individuals from discrimination in adopting and foster care. So know your rights about the LGBTQIA plus protection. There is still a lack of protection Court orders are required to secure legal parentage for gay couples. The Equality Act in the United States provides protections against discrimination for individuals based on sexual orientation and gender identity in areas such as employment, housing, education, and healthcare. So these are the resources that are available for the LGBTQIA plus population. The LGBT Health Services on the CDC website, LGBT National Hotline, and the number is listed. The LGBT Hotline chat, the Trevor Project organization, and the Self-See organization. And then now we have some questions. So number one, what pronoun to use if you were unsure? So instead of saying or guessing, it is important to respectfully ask a person for their chosen gender pronoun. Some individuals may use female and male pronouns, while others may prefer gender-neutral pronouns, such as ze or her, which is crucial to never refer to someone as the word it. And then what is the difference between sexual orientation and gender identity? So gender identity is an individual's personal internal sense of gender. For instance, male, female, both, or neither. Whereas sexual orientation is a person's identity with respect to the gender. In simple terms, it is who, what gender individual is a romantic relationship with. For instance, heterosexual, bisexual, and homosexual.
Thank you so much. So now we will engage in a conversation on those questions. So when we are unsure about pronouns, what are some experiences that some of us have endured with, because this is new. And I know it's not in historical text, so it's something that we have to be cautious about and accepting and just ensure that we are approaching individuals with that kindness and not being discriminatory when we're communicating and making assumptions as well. So Stephanie, what would you like to say, my dear? Oh, you're on mute. There you go. Yeah, you're still muted. um Jayashree, would you like to add some dialogue there, my dear? You are.
Experience with this, but I guess it's very important because like not a lot of people like to express what they want to be called. But then when you go out of your way and ask them, it is not only acknowledging them with the right gender or with the right pronoun, but then it is also showing respect. So I think that's why you should approach and ask for it before you guess.
Absolutely. I was guilty of that. I had saw someone with it looked like a female name and there was makeup and all of that. And, he was very kind to me. He actually said, hey, I identify as a male. And so I had to go change my review because he was one of our volunteers. And I just loved how accepting he was and, patient with me because I'm learning all of this. And I know, just being mindful of those kind of occurrences. Madison, what do you think, my dear?
I think it's like just Jayashree said, it's like a respect thing. I've had a coworker who wants to be referred to as she or they, and we've had some instances where people didn't know, and so they were like, "Hey, bro," or "Hey, dude," and it was very quick, and we addressed it and took care of it. But I think it is a respectful thing, and honestly, a very nice thing to do to acknowledge it and fix it if there is a problem, just to make someone feel more comfortable in the work environment or in their own skin, or just in general if they say that's what they prefer.
Absolutely. Stephanie, did you get off mute, my dear? Did you figure that out?
Yes,
Oh.
I figured it out. But yeah, I am a huge for this community. I have friends, family that's a part of this community. So for me, it is very important that we respect others and respect how they feel. And if we are not sure, I agree with in Madison, of course, ask. That's the best solution instead of just assuming or just, saying whatever we think, because that is a little, disrespectful. I do feel like if you don't know, ask, and it goes a long way. So I love that I was able to be a part of this conversation, and this topic, because it means a lot to me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for weighing in on that. Um, Madison, I'll let you go ahead and take over the second set of questions, my dear.
So, how do I be more respectful around the individuals from the LGBTQIA plus community? For an unknown person, it can be very confusing to address an individual from the LGBTQIA plus community with the right term. It is okay to make mistakes, but one has to be transparent about the mistakes and be mindful next time not to repeat it. Develop an inclusive communication strategy to reach out and make sure, relationships are reach out and make relationships to make them feel included and treat them the same, treat them with respect. How to find LGBTQIA plus friendly healthcare providers. So look for LGBTQ plus friendly clinics and healthcare providers. Look for insurance benefits before assessing care. Word of mouth, rely on networking with online resources and directories like the National LGBTQIA plus Education Center, Please Prep Me, Planned Parenthood, the Trevor Project, and Before the First Appointment.
Love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, I did kind of cover this on another call that I have someone I consider a nephew. He was born female, converted to male. He was actually one of the first participants to undergo surgery in a naval hospital. And he was dating my niece for a number of years. They came out to move in with us. We had not known that he was transgender. And my older, I come from a very dysfunctional family. So my older sister, the mother of my niece, was not accepting of him and released all the information about his past circumstances on social media. And so we found out prior to him just moving in, literally driving out to Florida into our home. And we met him as Matthew, and that's just how we felt. And he was kind of freaking out, do you guys not want me to live with you anymore? We're like, absolutely not. I mean, this is who you are, this is who we met you as, and we have no judgment on that. So it really became a beautiful thing and unearthed so much awareness on, because he was born into a female body, but all the parts in his brain were male, and that's how he identified with. So I think that's important to just understand that just I was born with a disability, so I have different marginalized concepts in which I've come from, and people open themselves up and they become understanding and accepting of that. We're all different. We all come from somewhere. So I just wanted to add that. Who would like to weigh in?
Yeah, like I think in one of the slides we mentioned about how to be an ally to this community, and we talked about accepting, and I think that is the most important, because no matter how much we talk about this community in on various portals and websites and news, but then still when it comes to acceptance, we might say that we accept, but then there are certain ways to show that we really accept them, talking to them, smiling back to them, involving them, making friends with them. So all these things are like small things, but then they matter a lot. And like I said in the earlier session, that not everyone expresses that they belong to this community because of so many reasons. Family could be one of the reason that they're not confident enough to express. So obviously education also comes into picture here. So how educated the parents are, or how educated they themselves are. So I think when people come from such background, it's important to accept them and make them feel that they are just like us.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you so much for sharing. Stephanie, Madison, did you want to weigh in on anything else?
I would just say, how to be more respectful is, always treat others how you want to be treated. So if you want to be respected and heard and, you know, did you do that to other people no matter what? Like you said, everyone comes from somewhere and everyone's brought up differently, but you have to be able to expand your thoughts and knowledge and be able to accept others if you're going to grow as a person and really be there for other people. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Stephanie? All right. Well, that was a very informative call, and you guys did an excellent job preparing all of those slides, and just really emphasizing, this community and the avenues in which we could be more accepting, celebrating the diversities. Again, we're all different people, and we all come from somewhere. So I love how we're able to kind of embrace those differences and unite in such a meaningful way. So thank you guys for joining the call and for the students that prepared the slides. We're excited to talk on these calls every week and to deliver public health content to you. So we will see you next time. Thank you.
Goodbye.